There. I'm going to walk you through a review of MindTap for the Arnold book. The Arnold book with MindTap is one of the options for spring if you choose to implement it. It's been class tested by both Professor Chi and Professor Namala. And so again, this is a secondary option of what you could use in spring. So I was going to walk through the process of accessing it, reviewing it, and we can go from there if you have any questions. I can also go through some pricing. So hopefully I can do this in about 10 minutes. Again, it'll be a very brief overview. This is our instructor resource account that you see on my screen here. Any book that is a Cengage book can be loaded and accessed via the bookshelf here, where all of the resources for the book live. So the instructor companion resources are here. And then we have MindTap, which is what I'm going to show you because MindTap is an ebook. I actually already created a course to show you here, but you simply create a course, add a start and end date to it, and everything is pre-populated, and then instructors customize from there. So I've gone ahead and done this, and this is what MindTap looks like. The view for instructors is the same as the view for students. This is accessible from a MindTap app from students' phones. And everything that you do see is customizable. So I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit of it. And then if you choose to implement this for spring, I can work with you on a more individual basis to make sure that you're all set up and supported. Everything I am showing you as far as customization also can be done on our end with your instruction. We do have a full department that does all the customization for you from behind the scenes if you choose so. So this is what we call the learning path here, and everything is organized into folders, parts, and then modules and chapters. We have a getting started folder, and what that's going to be comprised of is a video tutorial for students that will show them how to successfully complete the assignments. We also have a how to do the assignments, and we have a math and graphing tutorial. So again, this would be skills that students would expect to already come to class with the comprehension of, but it's a review for them. Again, everything that you see is customizable, including the point value. You can also add start and end dates to everything, and I'll give you a brief overview of that in just a second. So we have our getting started folder. Then we have our research tools here, which you may or may not use. We have this business insights link. It is a link to a current, just like what it says, a business website where students can find all kinds of great resources and information. So now I'm going to close that up. Again, we expand everything into parts. And if I open the parts, we have chapter activities after the parts. Students should expect to see kind of the same uniformity in every chapter, so they're going to know what to expect. Some chapters have more robust content, depending again on what chapter it is. So if I go into chapter 3, for example, I'm going to expand my chapter. We have a pre-class activity folder here, again, labeled practice. Anything can be modified. So this is just the basis, and we actually expect instructors to customize based upon their preferences. So we have pre-class questions. These won't take very long. It's a low stakes. Sometimes you're going to find out how long an assignment takes if it's listed here. We have quick economics in 5 minutes. Some of these are videos. Some of them might be animations where students can quickly link in. These are also referenced within the book, but again, they're seeing it quickly in this location as well. Then we have the ebook. Students can access the ebook right through the learning path within each chapter or on the right side of the page here where they find a more traditional look of the ebook. The ebook, students can actually go in, they can take notes and highlights within them. Oops. There are embedded videos within the ebook. I can take notes. The notes and highlights are automatically stored on the page. And then over here, Study Hub, and that's where my notes and highlights are organized by chapter, and I can create study guides based upon my notes and highlights. I can also change font sizes, bookmark, print pages, and I can have the ebook read to me as well. Again, it's interactive, so students are going to find a lot of concept clips within them, graphing tutorials, etc. within the ebook. So again, we have the chapter ebook, and then we'd have 4 chapter activities. These are graph builder activities. So again, the ability for students to go in, be taken right into that portion of the ebook where they can, let's see, where's my graph? Pull up. Here we go. Where they'll have graphing exercises. Some of these will allow actually students to move the graph different ways, etc., so that they can practice their graphing. And again, that's all going to be built within the ebook, but then also listed below the ebook here. Then we have a what's wrong with this diagram. It's video quizzing. Students can take these right here. You can actually click into, if you don't have an instructor account, let me know and I'll set one up for you and I will load everything so you can actually explore for yourself. So we have the video quizzing here. We have a homework and resource folder here as well. Again, some chapters you might find more quizzes, some chapters you might find a test. It just depends on how the chapter is organized and the robustness of the content of each chapter. So again, I can close them all up. I can close my all there. Again, everything's customizable, and that's happening by essentially putting my filter edit tab on here. So if I put my edit tab on here, expand apart here, anywhere I see this, I can actually go in and I can edit the folder if I want to. I can also hide a folder. So anything that I have here is editable, or I can hide it. So if there's things I don't use, I can do that on any level. So I can, if there's a chapter I don't cover, I can hide the entire chapter. If I prefer to not have this homework resource in here, I'm in the adaptive test prep. See, I just expanded that homework. I have end of chapter. I have some video walkthroughs, etc. If I don't like, for instance, this adaptive test prep, I'm not going to use it. I can hide it. It gets rid of it from my screen and from the student screen. And I can edit here. This is where I can edit point values, start and end dates, etc. If I edit here, I'm editing anything that is exactly in this box here. If I click on this side here, I'm editing anything below it. Or I can click on these individually where I can batch action edit them, and I can select available and due dates in a huge batch. I can also hide things in a batch, and I can edit settings in a batch as well. So again, everything is customizable and editable by having my edit tab on here. I can also add activities. So if I'm not using an LMS or Canvas in your case, I can actually embed my own activities within the learning path here out of my Google Drive, my Microsoft OneDrive. This does include also MobLab, which is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it is an economics gaming experience. I can add MobLab activities right into the learning path. But I can also add extra assignments, which are all housed within some of these homework links. And that's something we could get into on a more thorough level if you decide to implement this in your course. Again, some instructors will actually add midterms and tests right into the learning path between parts, between chapters, etc. As I begin to populate my due dates, I can go to my calendar view here. Students will actually see what is available or due within a given week, so they can work from this view as well. On the right side of the page, we have what we call MindTap apps. Again, these are engines where you can actually create more content if you did want something more. There is an RSS feed. Students can create their own notes in here that flow into Evernote if they use that. They have a glossary, adaptive test prep. That's part of the learning path, but you can learn about or see it here as well. Students can actually go in and create all kinds of different quizzing for themselves, flashcards, and a progress app. Everything that you see is also integratable into Canvas. So we can do Canvas integration at either a single SSO or single sign-on, where students are just receiving the course link in Canvas, or students can also, or you can deep link each assignment to where you have gradebook return for every assignment as well. Let's see, a couple other things. Students generally, to get into the course, if you did not integrate it, would use, if I go to my Manage Courses tab here, there is a course URL that would take them directly into your course. They would find the same kind of experience if they clicked in through an integrated course. I'm going to actually go to create an account so I can quickly show you what the students will experience. I'm going to say Jill Smith. So simply by clicking, by doing a couple just clicks here, as I'm doing, students get access right away. They also get 2 weeks of free access. So just by actually getting the information from your course, which I've just plugged in the URL, students will be able to get into the course for 2 weeks without having to do anything. Not letting me attempt to create my course. At any rate, students will be able to get into the course directly very easily. I'm not sure, I don't want to waste time looking and seeing what I did wrong in that first prompt. I probably didn't do a correct password. At any rate, this is bundled with a loose leaf version of the book that can be sold directly to students from Cengage or found in the bookstore. It is good for both terms, so for macro and micro. If students purchased it directly through Cengage, just going through that prompt like I have here, they would then be approached with entering the free trial for 2 weeks, using their access code from the bookstore or purchasing MindTap directly, and that would be $78, and that's for both terms. So they don't have to take them back to back; they can take them a year apart. But again, good for both terms using this book. We also have a Cengage subscription. If they have multiple Cengage courses, they're prompted to include this as part of that as well. So we don't have any questions. I just want to give you a brief overview of what MindTap looks like. If you would like me to load this into your own Cengage account, please let me know and I will get that all set